Right, so here, let's see if I can get a good look at that. So when your microworms look like this, right? See how it's all liquidy splishy? If I can get a better view. All of these, all 6 of these, I gotta get ready to split or toss. Right, so you see how this is like liquid, right? That's kind of a very good indicator that, oh, time to change it. Especially if you see here on this lid, all those little white specks are just clusters of microworms. They're kind of small, actually. That's also another indicator. When you notice your microworms start to get, like, small, I guess, or smaller than usual, you know, they're microworms for a reason. That's another good indicator. Oh, time to change the living situation. Because look at this. This is just soup. In fact, this probably is, like, overdue for a change, if you can see that. But yeah. This video, I'll show you how to do that. If you came here from Kijiji, hi. Please buy them. I guess. Probably a good idea if you buy them, especially if you're breeding fish. Or even beforehand, if you decide to breed fish, always get the food before the animal. It's basic advice. Right, ignore the beans. Those are my dad's. So here we've got the oatmeal. This is kind of consistency you want. I've found that if the oatmeal is actually like too thick, it kind of forces it to wait a bit. It delays the start, whatever you would call it. Cause if it's too thick, right, what'll happen is it'll form like a skin on top, which kind of traps all the little microworms inside, prevents air exchange. So something about this thick is good. Obviously, wait for your oatmeal to cool down, probably as long as you can stick your finger in it. Yeah, it's should be fine as long as you can stick your finger in it without burning yourself. These are my containers. A lot of people use different things. I've found a little standard, what is it, I think 12 ounce? 12 ounce deli container with a lid like this, poke a few holes in it. Because, especially with deli containers, it's really convenient. Because if you do this, right, you can just stack however many how you want, and it doesn't actually cover the air holes. If you're wondering what blocks the air holes, I know a lot of people use cotton balls. I prefer to put a coffee filter on top. You'll see what that looks like in like a few minutes after I get everything set up. Yeah. Right. Yeah, just ignore how dirty the table is. So these are the old ones. These are the new ones. It's a pretty simple process, really. Just oh, that was close. What I like to do first is give it a little mix. You can see how liquidy it is right now. And then, oh, this is gonna be hard with one hand. Just sort of scoop a bit into each. I like to do it a bit evenly, where just sort of scoop like about a tablespoon till about what? So basically what I'll do is keep going, splitting this up until the original one is at like half, right? Because you can see I filled these containers just slightly under half. Because what'll happen is as I'm, you know, taking out the starters from the old ones there, what'll happen is gets to just about half, almost precisely. And then it'll all be even, it'll all be nice. And then all you gotta do is top up this one here. I'll just show you actually. I'll just show you. Right, so I completely forgot what I was talking about because for you it's been like a couple seconds. For me it's been like 2 minutes. So I took out pretty much half, as you can. Let me just get up. Right, I'm just gonna grab it. So see this? How it was about a little less than half. Now it's a little over half. Yeah, I overfilled it. But. So you'll often encounter problems of like mold and such in these. I've never gotten mold, but that's also because I use a lot of starter. I found that all the people who say, "Oh, I've gotten mold," they'll use a tablespoon of starter, which if you're trying to save, I guess. But like, why? Why risk it? Because if you put a lot of starter, it grows faster. There's no mold. Yeah. So pretty much just a little bit from the originals, a little bit from there, all that mixed into here, and then afterwards, I don't know if it's like actually mandatory. I think it helps. I like to give it a bit of a stir to get the starter mixed in with the oats. I've heard that using potato flakes reduces the smell. The smell is only noticeable when you're doing stuff like this, when you open all of them up and then work on it. But it actually smells like horrible. It smells like if you're in like if you enter like a depressed person's room, right? And they've just got like 20 beer cans half drank. It's that sour like alcoholic smell, which makes sense because it's fermenting oats. It's basically just beer. But yeah, so just give them all a little mix. I'll mix everything up and then I'll show you what to do with the originals. But yeah, see you guys in a second. Right, so am I back? Alright, I'm gonna assume I'm back. So you can see everything is all nice and mixed up into one homogeneous layer. I'm terrible at this camera. Right. So then, so as for what to do with these ones, just grab some more oatmeal. Probably want to get it to about half, like that. So once it hits about half of the container, you'll give this a stir as well. Probably a little more. Yeah, just stick a little more in there. Maybe a little more. What was I saying? Yeah, so once it's about half, you can... It's basically the reverse of this. Instead of the starter being added, you're adding the oatmeal to the starter. I've never baked sourdough, but I think this is a very similar process, but instead of like growing, wheat to make yummy bread, you're growing worms that smell like a depression room. You also notice this is a little bit thinner than the rest, probably because this had even more starter in it. But yeah, just give that a stir, and then I'll be back with the next step after I do the rest of these. Right, okay, so... Oh, I left the... So those lids I kind of messed up on when I first did this. I don't really like how they are because you can't really stack them because it covers up the air hole. So it's a pretty simple process. Grab the coffee filter. If I can... Oh, sorry. Grab the coffee filter, put it on top. There we go. Let me grab the lids from the kitchen. Okay, so these are the lids. These are the lids. I think I've shown these before. Just pretty simple. The coffee filter is more to keep the worms in and anything else out. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. I can feel the table giving. Give me a second. There you go. That just took a bit of effort to push down. Yeah, so there it is. It's all been mixed up. They're all about half. The coffee filter again, just to keep things in, keep things out. Other people use cotton balls. I just think having a coffee filter is just a lot easier to use, because you gotta like thread the cotton ball into the holes. It's a bit much. This you just sort of slap on top, push down. Right. I will just get the rest of these finished up now. Right, I turned on the little fan in the back just to air out the house a bit. So this is all of them. I got what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So I got 15. I intended to make 12 including the starters, but oopsie daisy, I made too much. Right, so this will be a few seconds for you. For me, it'll be about a couple weeks, a month, I don't know. I will show you what these look like when they've actually started to produce a lot of worms, because they do tend to boom and bust. So ideally you would want to stagger your production. but I've got so many other live foods I can depend on that it doesn't really matter. I think I'll sell these, what, $10 kg? I don't know. I'll figure it out once the listing's up. Yeah, I'm just gonna put these down somewhere where they can just chill for a bit. I don't have to look at them, don't have to smell them. Probably best you do the same. So yeah, this will cut to whenever they're ready to harvest, and then I'll show you how to do that. Right, okay. Okay, so it's been about a week, yeah. I just keep them, like, in the basement in this cabinet here. Here, let me just grab a random one. Let me see how I keep them set up. So you see how they're all stacked up over here? All of them stacked up neatly. These are isopods, ignore that. Maybe another video someday. But, right, okay. Let's see if you can see them. Maybe to hold them up to the light. Okay, there's the light. So you can kinda, you see that film here? Let's see if it focuses. There you go. See that like misty film? The camera doesn't pick it up very well, but that's actually wiggling. So once you see a bunch of them just crawling up the sides, that's how you kind of know your colony is working. You could use a Q-tip, paintbrush, swipe them off, dip them into the water. I don't actually have anything to feed right now, but that's the 1 week update. Here, let me open it up to get you a better look. Hopefully you can't hear all the buzzing in the background from my projects. Right, so here it is. Let me just turn on the light for you. See if you can see them. Oh yeah, that's much better. See them all over the sides. That's not foam. This right here, that's not foam. That's actually them. Let's even get closer with the light. There you go. The light's yellow. I don't have a white light, but yeah, you can all see them just squirming around there. Little hair. So yeah, that's pretty much the 1 week. There's more up here, and this is basically what you want it to look like. A bit bubbly from the substrate being like active and fermenting, because they don't eat the oats, they eat what eats the oats, if that makes sense. Look at that. But yeah, that's basically everything about microworms. Well, everything about culturing it. Hopefully I'll have more videos up on my channel. Probably not, maybe. There you go. Microworms. Once again, if you found this video from Kijiji, feel free to hit me up. Probably $10 each, I would say. It is a big culture. You can like, this is what, 12 ounces, I think? You could make like a ton more of these, because 12 ounces, you don't really, that's a lot. But yeah, look at them. $10 Kijiji. Maybe I'll ship, maybe not. Yeah.